Welcome, everyone, to Generation Dan. I am one of your three hosts. You'd think I'd be more of that three, but I am just a normal person, just gigantic sized. So, I am Dino the Genetic Marvel, and with me today are, as always,
You have Atlas Novak.
and
Nick Fernandez, and I feel phenomenal.
He, you just got your second dose of the vaccine, right?
Got the Moderna yesterday.
Uh-huh.
I had Pfizer as my first shot, so I got a nice little cocktail.
Oh,
I don't think you're supposed to do that.
I
I'm pretty
thought-
sure
yeah.
you're supposed to get one at a time, but man, you
Yeah.
know what?
And it's nice. They served it with a salted rim and some limes, and
And then this way with
goes
both,
down easy.
you get the werewolf powers and the telekinesis together. That's
But yeah,
Oh,
it's
God.
not it's nothing crazy in terms of it's just I feel like absolute garbage. Like I feel like I got beaten all over my body with a sack of oranges. No
Yeah.
bruising, but just all of the muscle lethargy. It's really fun.
yeah.
I feel like I got lupus or something like
No,
that.
that's
One
what
of those weird ones.
that's what
Mono.
it's supposed to give you. Mono. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, with none of the
But,
fun.
you know, that's what I was saying
At least
earlier.
we
I'm
get
like,
mono. Like people are like, this guy makes out. You know.
This guy's got immunity. That's what they know now.
Oh my God. I don't know, man. Like my wife was supposed to get her and her dad are supposed to get we're supposed to get them in August, and now they just got bumped up to like next week sometime. And I'm like, they got Pfizer, so they're getting another Pfizer.
Mhm.
And I'm just like, you know what? I'm good. I was like, are you gonna get it? I'm like, I'll wait a little while longer, just see what happens. I'm like,
Okay, so I got mine back in February.
what did you get?
Pfizer.
You got Pfizer, okay.
Yeah, and I'm completely fine. So it's because I work in a doctor's office. We you
had
know,
to.
you go in one day and they're like, all of you are getting vaccinated. March. You're like, cool. I'm getting paid to get vaccinated. This is dope.
So that's not okay. So while I can appreciate the benefit of that,
No one
I
cares.
feel like so everyone listening knows I'm wearing a shirt that says "Shh, no one cares." Well, like, okay, but realistically, is if you went into work and they're like, "Oh, there's a new disease, everybody's got to get vaccinated." Everybody, like, if there wasn't any sort of information otherwise, like, I don't know, it feels like a workplace should not have the right to dictate that.
Well,
I don't know.
I think in the case of like they had been conducting clinical trials for admittedly shorter than usual, but they were sharing information. And this is a doctor's office in the clinical trials department. Like precautions were taken, you know?
I'm not saying that anyone has a nefarious plan or anything like that. I just feel like there's a lot of line pushing that's happened, and people are just okay. Like the whole idea that it was propositioned to have like a vaccination passport is not unreasonable, but at the same time, it's like we had that at one point, right? And there are other countries that do have those kind of things, because especially for children and stuff like that, you need to know, right? But being able to have a workplace just be able to dictate that, be like, all right, everybody's getting vaccinated today. You're like, what? Like, I don't know. It's just weird.
I think if you had a good enough reason, you could get out of it, but the like, oh, I'm scared, it doesn't count. It's got to be something like I have an autoimmune disorder or
Yeah.
something.
Well, and that's the other thing is, how do you trust that? Like, I feel like there are certain industries, medical specifically, which you would get bullied a lot worse, and like you'd be called dumb. You know what I mean? Like, oh, afraid of conspiracy theories, eh? You want to go see some aliens later? Like, I feel like that would be a definite conversation that might be had. You know?
I think considering what the department is, you would deserve it.
Yeah.
Well,
Get gaslit the fuck out by some dweebs. It's funny. Sounds like a good time.
True.
Yeah.
And that's the worst problem. I'm like, I don't trust anybody. Like, guy, if they're on the news, I'm like, that's probably bullshit. Like, it's just, so it's like, I'm not trusting anyone at this point, but at the same time, it's like, I just don't want to go first, man. It's just,
You're
I don't
not
know.
going first. You're like,
No, but anyone this year that's getting it is still first. You know what I mean? Like, this is so fast. I don't know. And I don't mean to incite anyone to think that I'm a fucking retard. I'm not stupid. It's just, it freaks me out. I don't know.
that's like the least Canadian thing I've ever heard you say, I think. Like,
Which one? Was it the word retard? Is that
no. Just that entire thing of like, I don't want to go first of like getting a vaccine for the greater good, and then also dropping the R word. Both. Like that together is like the perfect cocktail of that's probably the most American thing you could have said, I think.
You obviously haven't been to a church in Saskatoon. Then.
Yeah, which is funny because they're both Canadian and I'm American, so.
Oh God. I get it. Okay. So Nick, did you have to get it? Like, did your work say that we're encouraging everyone to get it?
No. I just I was registered for the second one, and my whole family is very much the pro science route.
Yeah.
My dad works in the medical field as well, and like, I understand how they went about the vaccine trial and why they were able to do it so fast.
Yeah.
Is because they were able to run like phase 1, 2, and 3 trials all at the same time, which normally you would have to do it over the span of years.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because you just don't have enough people that are sick to do the trials on. So This time they were like, it was like, well, which of the people would you like to test it on? Because we have all of the people. So they had enough to be able to run it. But and also it's like, I'd rather feel like a trash bag for a couple of days, 24 to 48 hours, than have to deal with getting anyone else sick. So the cost-benefit analysis made sense to me.
I think,
that being said, I am sweating profusely right now, and I hope it comes across.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Loud and clear.
Oh, no. All so, like, in my department of all the people who got vaccinated, like, I personally had, like, muscle soreness like Nick has, and that was kind of it. But for one of my coworkers, she had, like, full-on nausea and vomiting with the muscle ache. So, like, you got kind of this gauntlet of, like, different people having different stuff.
I think I'm kind of in between right now.
But, like...
Because I got muscle soreness with my first one with Pfizer.
Yeah.
But Moderna, it's like that on fucking crack.
I don't know if you were supposed to get one of each. I don't...
Supposedly it gives you even better coverage. Because it's...
Okay.
They're both the same type of vaccine.
Yeah.
Where they work off of mRNA. Yeah. But they're slightly different molecules, but doing the exact same thing.
Okay.
So you're basically getting like 2 looks at the pitcher that you're fighting against, right? Mm-hmm. Like you got game tape from 2 different games, type of thing.
Okay.
Running through.
I don't know.
All right.
It feels like 2 big sponsors fighting over the hood of a NASCAR. You know what I mean? Like it's no, I'm better. Let me go first.
All I can say is that we were fine within 5 days, like completely.
Yeah.
So okay. I think you're gonna be okay. You're gonna be fine.
God, I fucking hope so.
I hope it gets worse and you document the shit out of it, to be honest. Yeah. I think that'd be entertaining.
Well, great, Dino. Yeah,
if you get the shits, definitely record that
slow spiral into insanity.
Yeah.
That'd be fun.
Speaking of getting the shits, I saw a tweet the other day where it was like, I found out my boyfriend takes his shirt off to take a shit. Is this weird? And then the guy retweeted it and goes, that man is fighting for his life.
I saw the same and I wanted to comment. I'm like, listen, you haven't really felt it until you have to take your socks off. That's when you're like,
the socks, yeah, definitely.
The socks, that's the last. Like, look, you have to. I'm like, I'll lift up my shirt. It gives a cooling sensation on the belly.
Yeah.
Allows the machine to work. Yeah. But yeah, when you take off the socks, you're just like, listen, it's me or the toilet, and we're fighting. Like, that's it.
Well, especially if it's like if you're not at home, because like I'm barefoot at home all the time. But if I'm in public and I gotta take my socks off,
oh my God,
yeah,
you should have gone home. You
Yeah.
should have gone
Well,
home.
the worst
Like,
part is
you shouldn't have left the house.
I got some ramen last night, and I'm getting better at spice. I'm still pretty like whitey about it, but like
Yeah.
I'm getting
Oh
better.
yeah, Atlas Novak.
Yeah. Exactly. No,
The
the
man
borscht.
with clear skin.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not on
Oh
my
my
ass.
God.
It's not.
I feel like your skin should have SPF quality. Like if you rub it on someone else.
Yeah.
Like,
No,
it's
that
the
fits.
essence.
So like,
Anyway.
this was the first time in a long time where I ate something so spicy that you just like. Have you ever eaten something so spicy you start to panic? You're like, water isn't working. What like so you start like remembering
This is my life now.
Yeah, where you're like,
Yeah.
do I run down the street with my hair on fire to try and get a thing of milk from the gas station at the end of the block? What do I do? Like, I have considered filling up the sink with water and just dunking my head in and hoping that worked. And just like, you look like a Kiss album, just trying to get the spice out. Just
Some rookie shit here.
Yeah, no, that's literally.
You need
know
to
what?
embrace the suck.
That was the mild. That was the mild option, and it like
just
destroyed
embrace the
me.
lava. Just embrace it. That's
Yeah.
all you have to steer into the skid. Like if you it's like if you've ever like smoked too much weed and you get like too high. Like if you try and fight it and be like I don't want like you can't because it'll just drag you back down. So you just have to go into its loving arms and be like we're gonna have a panic attack right now, and then we're gonna be fine.
Yeah, talk about
To
steering
be
in.
crystal clear, no one should follow that advice. That is the worst fucking advice in the world.
For
That's like,
spice,
listen,
definitely.
If you're gonna shit yourself, just embrace it and shit your pants. No, it's not what you do. Okay. There are steps to
Contrary to popular belief, you do not want to steer into the skid when it comes to shitting yourself.
Yeah, that's
If by the steer into you mean drop said skid into a toilet, then I think it holds up.
I don't think
but
that's
then
what
you
were
have to take
conveying,
your
sir.
socks off.
That's not. Yeah.
Um,
That's a socks off situation. Listen, you know what? With the heat, so there are a few. I have a friend who is like, do you remember Homer at the chili cook-off, where he eats and then starts hallucinating?
Yeah.
Okay, so he can take hot like that, and it's inhuman when I watch him do it, because he will just keep on going. Me, him, and a friend of ours from Mexico, and our spouses all went out for dumplings, and this is a place where they give you like the hot chili oil.
Yeah.
And essentially, the six of us went through 3 canisters of the hot chili oil, and they're like, "What the fuck?" We were all at the end of it. We were all sweating.
Yeah.
But we were like, you have to find your heat that is enjoyable, right? Because you want to get your that sweat on, but not so much where you're like, I can't see, and now I can't feel my fingers and shit like that. It just ruins the time.
I'm like slowly building my tolerance to it. Like I used to be a lot wimpier, but it was just one of those things where you know in like a TV show where it's like the character's training and it's his first like matchup where he just gets his ass handed to him and he's like, wow, I'm not as strong as I thought I was. That was this ramen last night.
You know what? You know what?
Atlas was brought to his knees by
ramen.
Hot water and noodles.
No, it wasn't like cup ramen. It's like the thing you get at
I know what it is. I know what it is, but it's still a bowl. It's a bowl of liquid.
Then you shut your face, drug cocktail.
Oh god.
Oh man, that's You know what? There's a butter chicken place in Toronto.
Yeah.
That.
Why don't you pronounce that T harder, bud? It'd be great for me. Really hit the T. You fucking foreigner.
I'm so confused. What?
Just don't even start with it.
Which T?
You don't pronounce the second T.
Yeah, you do.
Toronto?
You know
like
why?
That?
Nick's a douchebag, okay? He went to university, so he's just like, no, you don't. It's Toronto.
Well, technically, you could just be
Toronto.
British Toronto, right? Isn't it?
Yeah. It
Or
sounds weird when you say the second T. It just sounds
I
weird.
hope Moderna kills you, you son of a bitch.
Yeah. Well, no, then we lose our third co-host, and I'm not fucking doing that again. Of like,
Okay, so this place, I would get their mild, medium level of heat,
yeah.
and that was like I would sweat, but it was a good
What
solid.
was the scale? Because you said mild, medium. So I assume
So,
there's a medium, medium. And a
Yeah,
hot
well,
medium?
mild, medium, and hot. You could get mild, medium, or you can get medium hot. I got medium once, and I didn't shit right for 3 days. Like it burned all the way through.
So
Right,
so it literally knocked your socks off.
Definitely. Like, oh no, it was brutal, but it's delicious.
Yeah.
But yeah, I saw a guy get hot, and the guy who was because it's this tiny little shack downtown. It's a tiny little place. I think
It's always the place like that. It's always like the hole in the wall like taco food truck or whatever that has like the best shit. You're like
exactly.
Yeah.
And it's the same thing. So these guys, it was a butter chicken
food grade of C.
Well, you're not supposed to pronounce the second T.
What?
Anyways, so they turn around and I saw a guy order hot, and they everyone in the kitchen was like, "What?" And he goes, "Yeah, I want a hot." And they're like,
No, you
"Have
don't.
you had hot?" He goes, "Yeah, I've had hot." And they're like,
Have you had
Okay.
hot?
and that's the thing is when they made it, it was one guy who made it specifically, and the whole process, like he was like, hey, I'm making a hot one, kind of like moved around everyone to make sure nobody touched him and stuff. But like in the end, the guy was like, thanks. And they're like, that guy's not coming back. Like they're just like, you saw everyone's look going, that guy might not survive that food. Like
Okay. The first half of that sounded like they have a guy for each spice level, right?
No. But when it's hot,
Yeah.
like people, yeah,
But
that's when.
I just like the idea of like, oh shit, they want a hot one. We gotta talk to Crazy Gary. And then you like, Crazy Gary, you're being called into action. But they never order hot. You've
And
been
he's like,
called into action.
Face, like, the hot.
Yeah, he's like, my time has come. Watch out, make it a hot one. Make it a hot one. Crazy Gary has been called.
Just when I think I'm out, they pull me back in.
Yeah.
I feel like Crazy Gary is a guy that like exclusively sits on overturned buckets.
Yes, definitely.
Like that's the only method of sitting.
He
either that or a deep Asian squat. You know, like they're waiting for the bus.
Yeah,
Oh,
he's
God.
like he is the inspiration for the movie Seven Psychopaths, but like all of his multiple personalities are each character.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
It's a one-man show, but, you know.
Yeah, that's Crazy
Yeah.
Gary, a person I just
So
made up.
running 3 movements of a pan.
Yeah.
Okay, so Alice, do you have experience working in a restaurant?
No,
No.
retail though. I've worked retail.
Oh, you work retail. Okay.
Yeah.
Nick, you have never worked a poor man's job, right?
I have. I was a busboy and
Okay,
a
so
server
restaurant.
for a few weeks.
Okay, so yeah,
Huh.
okay. I thought you were all high class, man. Bullshit.
Oh no, my family
He's not.
believes in.
He doesn't live in a corner unit in some building where all you can see is sky.
God, I might
Bullshit.
soon if I get this new job. That'd be nice. I want
that would be
I
nice.
want my bed to be on a lazy Susan, so I can just see different views.
Oh man, that sounds awesome. It's like
Right?
what are those called? Those bed from the '70s that like rotate.
Yeah, the Austin Power one.
Yeah.
It's like fully circular.
Yeah, exactly.
Impossible to get sheets for.
Oh, I bet. You gotta get like
Yeah.
what these weird circular ones.
Oh, the CN Tower had that. The CN Tower had it.
Really?
yeah.
Damn. Hmm.
Yeah.
They have that for the whole restaurant.
Yeah.
Okay, wait. So what's the thing about you're asking about a restaurant experience, Dino?
No, I just wonder, like, because I didn't work in a restaurant until I was about 20, but when I'd gone with a friend, and the guy's like, I want it as hot as you can make it, and the waitress was like, are you sure? He's like, as hot as you can make it. And we're getting chicken wings, and sure enough, like, he couldn't feel his face, he couldn't feel his hands. We ended up just like dropping him out of the car because we're like, don't touch anything. We pushed him out at the front of his house. Like, he's your problem now. When we dropped him off, but I'm like, afterward, when I worked in a restaurant, then I found out that challenge where it's like when you say as hot as you can make it, the chefs in the back will always take that as a personal challenge.
It's like when you go to like a Thai restaurant and they're like, do you want hot or do you want Thai hot?
Well, that's the thing. And then
I love that they went with, like, at a Thai restaurant, they went from like hot to Thai hot rather than saying, do you want it white people or do you want it the real shit?
They should.
Like, I think they should have gone with that. So much funnier. It's like,
Oh,
do
yeah.
you want like prepubescent boy, or would you like 40-year-old Taiwanese man?
Wait. Do you want prepubescent boy or do you want 40-year-old with 3 kids and a mortgage?
There you go.
Yeah.
There you go. He's just dead
What do you guys-
inside, looking to feel something.
Yeah.
Like,
that is horrible.
Hey, you know what? That's
That
what
is
Crazy Gary does.
That's what crazy Gary does, man.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's pretty fair. That checks out. I think that was some of the most fun I ever had working at a restaurant. I don't know. Do you enjoy your job, Atlas?
I enjoy my job in spite of itself, if that makes sense.
Yeah, I absolutely get that.
It's not a thing where like the work is especially fulfilling. It's that I have managed to get so good at my job that I can almost automate most functions of it, so I can go do other shit on the job. But the work still gets done.
You keep that secret, though, right? You don't
Of course.
tell
Yeah.
people.
Unless my boss ends up listening to this show, in which case, hi, Janet. And then, so, you know, just doing that, and it's especially nice where, because my work,
Seems fair.
I run a department by myself, so,
Yeah,
you know,
oh,
makes sense.
yeah.
That's the thing. See, Nick, do you enjoy your job?
the current one? No. The new one? Probably.
Okay, when you first started your job, though, did you enjoy it? Because I know
Yes.
there's been some changes and stuff, but you did enjoy it. Yeah.
Yes, I enjoy most new things that like jobs that I go into, because I like learning things,
Mm-hmm.
and being out of my depth is super engaging and exciting for me. So like the fact that I suck at it like feels good for me because it gives me something to work toward, and I like having goals.
That sounds disgusting.
I just like the idea of him being like, so like out of my depth is interesting. I just imagine him being in math class in high school being like, oh, fuck yeah, algebra. Confuse me, daddy.
Yeah, exactly. That's why it's like, no, you definitely have something wrong with you. That's fair.
No, there's nothing wrong with like liking to learn or whatever, but the way he worded it was just so funny sounding.
Yeah. He's yeah. No, definitely. That's. Hi. You look like you're sweating right now.
I'm sweating so much right now, bro.
We're literally recording while he's like suffering
I'm
the side
literally
effects
melting.
of. Yeah.
It's great. It's a good time. Yeah, I'm gonna eat a grapefruit after this, and I'm really excited about that.
I feel like you're gonna get exhausted trying to open the grapefruit.
I'm not trying to open it. I'm just gonna slice it into wedges, like I'm a soccer mom. Yeah.
Oh god.
Take the seeds out. Make sure it's like the perfect size, fit in small mouths.
That seems extremely perverse for a grapefruit. You are a weird guy, that's for sure. I don't know. I've been thinking of doing something different, and because I'm enjoying comedy, but comedy does not pay.
Yeah.
And I'm just trying to think of like I enjoy learning stuff, but I don't like. I enjoy public speaking. That's definitely one of my. I'm good at it.
Mm-hmm.
But at the same time, it's like I don't know how to get paid to talk to people.
I feel like you could really run like some sort of an anonymous group,
Yeah, it's
like sex and love addicts, like whatever. I feel like you wouldn't even have to do like the drugs or develop the issue. You could just go one day and be like, "Hi, I'm Dino," and then all of a sudden within like 3 weeks you're running the meeting, and you just start like stealing people's stories as your own, like
Genetic Marvels Anonymous.
Hi. You know what?
Start your own cult.
There's a few shows that I'm on where I've just like totally taken over hosting mid-show, and I feel so bad afterwards. I'm like, that's not really nice to do, and I just I don't like doing that kind of stuff. But I do. I am the kind of guy who does like, I'm just gonna come in here and just start talking.
So you're right, Atlas.
Yeah.
We stopped down for a little bit due to the internet thing, but I do think it's fucking ridiculous that we have to hear everyone's opinion about vaccines. Just shut the fuck up, you know?
Well, I think that was a few things before. That's like
no, I'm putting words in your mouth.
Okay. Oh no, I was thinking of like when you you're watching a YouTube video and then your internet cuts out or whatever, and then you go back again and it starts up like 2 minutes before where you're like, motherfucker, I've seen this already.
I've noticed they do that with Spotify, like the app.
Yeah.
They intentionally make it shitty if you don't have premium. Like they make the app controls just unreliable, and if you skip like backwards, it'll take you like 45 seconds backwards instead of 15.
Yeah.
I don't know if this is just glitches, but I feel like it's like intentionally done to make it like a less user friendly experience.
To make it less user friendly?
Yeah, like because
if you're not premium,
because you'll get an ad that'll pop up during like a podcast or whatever, and when you click into it, like it'll pause the show until you click into the ad. Like, so you have to go back to the app so that you can hear it again.
Oh, that's
like just
so
little
annoying.
things that make it like a little bit more difficult to use.
That's arguably the same thing with YouTube too, where they're like really trying to get you to get YouTube Premium. I figured out.
Has it worked on anyone? Because I
so.
do not meet anyone who's like, yeah, I got the YouTube Premium. Like,
well, like if you're on desktop, you can just get an ad blocker, right?
Yeah.
And then for like my phone,
mobile,
yeah,
you just can't play it with the app being closed, right? Which is hilarious because that was a feature that you got like when the iPhone originally came out.
Yeah.
Like that was a feature for like 6 years, and then they were like, nah, not anymore.
Yeah. No, that's like their thing though, is like removing features and then putting them back in behind a paywall, and they're like, and it works, unfortunately. I do know for
like prostitutes, the first tug's free.
Yeah, or drugs. I know for mobile...
Neither of those are very good examples, and I feel like neither of you have been like, hey, the first one's free at any point in your lives. You'd be like, first one's double, fuck you.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
What about me says I've done either of those things?
Everything about you says
that's the funny part. That's the funny part, though. Is I'm just...
Prostitute, definitely. Drugs, numerous times.
I know
for
YouTube on mobile, like, you know how when you open a video, there are the little bars, the yellow bars in the progress thing that are like, that's when an ad's coming up. Watch. So what you do is you open the video, you fast forward all the way to the end, like take the little ball all the way to the end, and then hit the repeat button, and it'll start the video over, and the bars will be gone.
So I've tried that, and a couple times it didn't work, and I was like, fuck. And now I just, you know what? I've resigned to the fact that if your ad is over 5 seconds and I cannot skip after 5 seconds, I'm just going to choose to do without your product. It's that simple. That's, you know what I mean? Like, listen, if you want to have a long ad, entice me in 5 seconds to watch it. I will watch it because I'm like, oh, that's a cool story. I want to see where it goes. But if it's a
this
dog
is
shit,
why Dino no longer brushes his teeth, because fuck Colgate.
Yeah,
that's right.
Or just like
just shit.
Like late 2000s Geico ads were they fucking slap, right? You had the like, folks who switched to Geico sure are happy, and it's the guy playing the guitar and the mandolin, or it's the mayhem guy where he's like, I'm your dog, watching your house while you're out catching a movie, and then be protected from mayhem like me. Like, those are like funny.
Yeah.
And
a good commercial is hard to come by now.
Yeah.
Now you have Super Bowl commercials, maybe, but
like the one that's really been annoying me are the ones for Postmates, where it's a person and they will see like a real world object as food, kind of like that desert island trope where you're like, oh, my foot's a steak, holy shit. But it's like a woman sees a thing of like French fries and it's a thing of golf clubs, and then it says when all you can fries is think about. I'm like, so these people are so broke and hungry that they're seeing real world objects as food, and you're like, hey, you know what you should do? Pay money to your capitalist overlords to bring the food to you, you fat fuck who is also broke and hungry at the same time. Like, fuck you, Postmates.
So did you order?
No! Of course not. I went and got it, because that's how I feel slightly better about myself. I'm like, I may be getting fatter, but at least I went and got it on my own volition.
You know that we don't have Postmates here, right?
I did not know that. No.
Yeah.
Good.
We have to actually run our own errands here.
Yeah.
Other
like
than
a bunch of
Grocery
poor
Gateway
people.
and all
Bullshit.
of the other options that we have here. But yeah. It's interesting. It's like the way I understand it is basically Postmates is like e-slaves. Like you just click a button and then a slave brings you the things.
Pretty much, yeah.
You're some sort of overlord and you're just like hitting a cane on the ground like Cheetos.
Yeah.
You know?
It's kind of like you remember back in the day where there'd be a pizza place and you're like, does it deliver? And sometimes you'd be like, no, it doesn't deliver. And then you go, oh, okay. And then you just go get it. Now, that's not a thing. Now does Postmates cover the thing? Or DoorDash or whatever the fuck. There's like 4 of them. I don't use any of them. But,
Look at you, eh? Just,
Yeah.
I'm better than everyone. Fuck you people. Good for you.
No,
He's
I'm
just
not.
sitting there. He's like, I have my metallic gift bag, and that's enough for me.
Atlas Novak is $1 billion away from being a supervillain. It's that simple.
Oh, definitely. Dude.
100%.
What would you do if you were a billionaire? What sort of weird supervillain stuff would you get into?
Bunker and weaponization of things.
Like
100%. I would have a defendable bunker, like into the ground, like no zombie apocalypse. I would survive it all,
Yeah.
But I would have like turrets that pop out of the ground and shit like that.
Okay.
Full defense.
I feel like if I was gonna be a billionaire, I'd probably do the troll humanity a little bit. So like I would do, end homelessness because I can, that kind of thing. But I would also do stuff like, are you aware of the conspiracy theory the birds were replaced?
Yes.
Okay, so I would do that for real.
I'm not as high as you think I am, all right?
Okay, so the conspiracy theory, which is obviously a joke, but it's probably going to turn into a real thing soon, because that's how Flat Earth started, is that...
Well, they're doing that with bees.
Oh, because they're like making little drone bees. So
Yeah, they're just giving up on saving bees.
Yeah.
Like, for a while, they were like, we're going to save the bees. And then someone was like, we're not saving the bees. We're just going to replace the bees with mini drone bees.
It's because they saw the movie with Jerry Seinfeld and they're like, okay, we
don't need this.
We
don't
draw
need
the
this in our
line at
lives.
Jerry Seinfeld as a bee trying to fuck a
middle-aged
person.
housewife to fuck a bee.
Yeah.
That's right.
Like,
Which, listen, everybody wants them. Everybody wants them. There's a high demand.
Yeah.
And, everybody's out here.
I did watch a video a few weeks back of a man putting a speculum up his dick and then putting wasps inside of it.
Oh, my God. No,
You
I don't want to hear
deserve
about
Moderna, okay? You don't deserve Pfizer as your second shot, sir.
it. Yeah. Jesus
I'm
Christ.
just leaning into the loopiness of it. It was actually on YMH Live. I don't know if you guys are Tom Segura fans.
No.
Yeah, you know what, though? Okay, I love Tom Segura's comedy. YMH, though, I'm watching and I'm like, okay, that's too, like, I just feel like it's just too much. I'm like, I don't want to know people like this.
You know, I've always had a love for people watching. Like, I used to love just going to a mall. Like, Eaton Center was great, where you could just, like, stand on one of those banisters and then just look at, like, the sea of humanity that is Toronto.
Yeah.
And, like, you could be... And then I would always, like, kind of, like... Me and my dad would stand next to each other and, like, give them stories. Like, give people stories of what's going on in their day. And it's just kind of an extension of that. Just with people on meth.
With people on meth. I don't know. The conspiracy theory the birds are replaced is It's basically people think that all the birds in the world were secretly killed and replaced with surveillance robots, and they're all just keeping tabs on us. So just do that as a billionaire.
I mean, that sounds... It just sounds super inefficient. That's all it is. Like, that's the only... Like, that's my one issue with the plan.
Yeah, but that's the point. You're supposed to be like...
so much easier.
Yeah, but the point is you're supposed to be like kooky or whatever. Like, you saw Batman. The concept of Batman.
I feel like this is a Ben Affleck Batman.
Yeah,
idea.
Probably.
Like, exclusively him.
What's what's your like crazy billionaire idea?
I mean, even like, it's gotten a really bad connotation lately, but like I do like the idea of owning an island, or like living on a super yacht that always travels around the world.
Yeah. Like
just following the good weather. Like that sounds really fun to me because I have wanderlust. I like a lot of different foods and stuff. Mm-hmm. So that would probably be my I'd be like a really bad super villain because like once I got like enough like money and capital to be comfortable, I'd be like, I mean, do I really need to kill them all? Like so apathetic at a certain point. I just don't think I'd have the drive to follow through on my master plan.
I wonder if I suddenly had this like massive windfall, if I would still like living in like kind of a shitty neighborhood. Just not needing like you still get the 2-bedroom apartment, but you just use the other room as an office and not for a roommate.
Yeah.
Or whatever.
I get that. I think at some level it's a question of anonymity, right?
Yeah.
Just not like you don't want people to know, but at the same time, it can be public information, so people will find out.
What? Find out that you're a billionaire, or?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. Right. Listen, like I don't trust that somebody be like, you know what, my life's not gonna change. That they're not gonna fuck up somewhere. Whether it's a new car or some branded clothing or something is going to stand out somewhere, just because I just assume that people can't stick to their guns when it comes to that kind of stuff. You know?
Yeah, I'm not sure. I like to think I would be that way.
That's why I'm like I would pull back.
Yeah.
Maybe, I don't know.
As if that's going to happen randomly. Like, oh, it turns out you were entered in a secret lottery. Ta-da! Like, that's not a thing. But a lot of Americans, that's like how they see themselves. And that's why unions can't be a thing here, really. For the most part. Okay, so over the weekend, my coworkers and I went to the beach here in LA. Okay. And we had a bonfire. And we all got wasted. And instead of being like,
oh my god, you're so cool.
No, okay, so instead of doing like Truth or Dare or like Never Have I Ever, I realized I was trying to incite like a socialist revolution by just being like, hey, you know what we should do is we should advocate for a higher pay, but as like a whole department. And they're like, dude, that's a great idea. Like, just
you try. This is when getting drunk goes wrong. You're like, we tried to unionize because I was drunk. That
I'm never going to bring that up. But I talked to a bunch of them while they were sober this morning, and they're still on board. So I think this might be a thing where we're just I'll ask for a raise as a department and see what happens.
Did you fucking Hollywood people, like, you gotta reboot everything, even the Soviet Revolution. Like you got you got like Soviet light happening there.
Oh yeah, definitely. Well, I don't
just recast Stalin as Atlas Noah.
Oh god. I could pull off the mustache though. I just have to shave and
I feel like you could.
Yeah.
That was a very pleasant surprise for me in the past year. Like I found out I could pull off a mustache, which is interesting.
Why? What did you look like before? What was the...
I've always had, like, various different facial hairs, but, like, until you, like, commit to growing the mustache and, like, letting it, like, actually, like fill in and thicken up, like, after a few months, like, you don't know what it's going to look like. And I found out, like, oh, this is a viable option.
Nah.
One of my friends who I haven't seen in person in like 2 years, who was a, total baby face, like fair skinned. He just has a fucking mustache now. I was like, damn.
Is it a good mustache?
It's okay. It it's like it's medium plus, I think.
Okay.
It's mild medium.
No. That's medium minus. It'd be medium hot in that case. That's medium
okay.
plus.
Oh, that's
Give it
so
4
horrible.
weeks, it'll be medium.
Or that's just medium.
Well, I mean, because if you just say medium, they're gonna be like, "Do you want mild, medium, or medium hot?" And then you'll just.
Well,
have
no.
to, like,
There's mild,
That is
mild,
that is a
medium,
horrible
medium,
world to
medium,
live in.
hot, and hot. That's the.
Yeah.
Yes, but here's the thing. Like, I feel like if you're in that restaurant, there's a couple other people around. You go like, "Can I get medium?" And they're like, "Sorry, what? Medium hot?" Like, no, medium. Like, it's
Oh.
you would always have to have that clarification. This just sounds like the curb premise.
That's but you have the expectation that there would be a mild hot. No, there does not. It's a scale, not an adjustment of the thing.
All I'm saying is, like, if you just said medium, that it could be confused for medium hot.
This is why you don't do drugs, people, because you end up with confused like Nick asking for a medium mild or a hot mild, which is not a thing.
Well, now who's confused? Dino. Ugh.
I never said I wasn't confused. I'm out to lunch. Okay, I'm high on my tits. I don't know what the fuck's going on.
Emphasis on tits.
Ta-da! Yeah, no, I don't know. It's getting hot here, and I feel like this is when people start to get crazy. Yeah, well, that's the thing is people start to do weird shit. Listen, the reason that the Predator came during the hot season was because that was their hunting ground. People do weird shit in the summer.
Yeah.
That's why LA, yeah, it's summer all year long and everybody's fucking mental. Makes sense.
Hey,
you've seen Do the Right Thing. That's in the middle of a heat wave.
You know what's interesting this year is the Kardashian influence has hit Toronto in that 90% of women are wearing those bike shorts, which I am here for. I am a huge fan. But it's just a really, like, it's interesting how quickly, like, an entire society can take on, like, a new article of clothing that quickly.
Listen, it's already surprising that people are just like, the fatter the ass, the better. People are out of control, okay? There are people walking around looking like a dump truck, and you're like, listen, good on you if you feel confident. You should feel happy. But this shit is mental, okay?
All night
the amount
long.
of fake body parts in everything.
Yeah. What would you get?
The amount
done,
of fake
Dino?
women is very, very perturbing.
Hey, Dino, what would you get done? You get one surgery.
That's the only thing I could think of.
You would make your what?
I'd make myself taller.
Make yourself
Really?
taller. How tall are you now?
Yeah. I'm 6 foot. I'm just shy of 6'2". So that's.
You're fine. What are you talking about?
I want to be around like 6'4", 6'6". That's my ideal.
You identify as a 6'4" to 6'6" man?
I really do, because I'm a big guy, but I'm also very broad. So it's like I have like ape arms and stuff. I'm like, I just need a little more height. That's what I need, and that's why it's when I get thin, I look taller. Because people are like, oh, what are you, 5'11"? I'm like, I'm 6'2", and they're like, really? And then I stand beside them, and they're like, holy shit, you're huge. I'm like, yeah, that's why I don't really come close to people. That's my thing.
Okay, I guess I'm the same way, but like I'm almost 6'1", and like
Yeah.
I don't know. It would be nice to just kind of like you get taller and it kind of stretches everything out a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel that would be beneficial. The difference is like for you, you're like all head, right? Whereas I'm a fairly mixed.
Yeah, I look like somebody used the big head sheet in like.
We need to take a pause on your all head.
It's true. I have a huge head. Like,
You do have a huge head, man. Like this is the thing is I have a big face, but I don't have a big head. So people are like, you got a big head, and I'll put on a hat, and people are like, how did that fit? I'm like, yeah, I don't have a big head. I have a big face. I have a lot of face covering area. Whereas, yeah, you got a massive head.
yeah, I do. It's
So how about you, Atlas? What would you get done? Head reduction or?
no. I think it fits the shoulders. Like if I
You
had
do. Yes.
Yeah.
Listen, the pictures you posted from online shows or from live shows, you look proportionate. You do have a big head, but you look you don't look like a weirdo. You know, you look normal.
Mm-hmm. I don't know. I think like liposuction is like the obvious choice because I'm a chubby boy, but being taller would be nice. I like 1 or 2 more inches, just a little bit.
Yeah.
So I go from like power forward to like firmly center.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah. As it stands right now, I'm like, you know, second string center, where like the center sprained his ankle. And these basketball puns doing anything for you? Or
Oh, they're pretty good. They're pretty good. I'm just way too fucking.
I know. It's just really funny because like Dino turned off his camera, I assume, to like save bandwidth, and and so I'm just all I can see, and
you're like
if you're watching this on YouTube, all you can see is just Nick going like.
Yeah, I'm here for it.
I'm back. Don't worry.
Yeah.
But what do you? So for me, like the fun answer is that like I've always been obsessed with the fact that like I've always had like pretty extraordinary love handles. Like even when I get pretty skinny, that's still where things just stick around.
Mm-hmm.
And I've always been obsessed with like what if they had like a purpose? Like if we could get like some sort of like pocket embedded in it, so that you got like almost like saddlebags. Yeah, like human saddlebags, just like sitting right above your like in those love handles, and you could put like a granola bar, your wallet, you know, all that's the type of body modification I'm into, not like
we can do shit like that. I thought it was just like stuff that can already be done. I figure if you're gonna do. If you can do weird shit like that, I want to like separate the breathing hole from the swallowing hole so I don't randomly choke on my own spit. That would be nice.
That's a good idea. You know what? I never thought about that. That's pretty reasonable. I have a sleep apnea, so I can definitely use that.
Yeah.
Where would you put your breathing hole?
Up here, maybe, so you can like go underwater and
snorkel.
Still...
Nice.
Oh yeah, like a blowhole.
Yeah, like a blowhole kind of, or
Would it be on your back then, or your head?
I guess if you're going to have your head on the pillow, you'd want to have it on... No, wait.
Top of your head.
Top of your head, yeah.
Top of your head?
Yeah, well, I think there should be, like, patch notes.
It would really make waterboarding so much more interesting. Like, because you would literally, like, you could drown someone in a millimeter of water.
Yeah.
You just hold them upside down, and then you just kind of, like a straw, you stick their breathing hole.
Well, I imagine you get to keep your nostrils, right? It's just the mouth breathing part would just be here.
Would it have teeth?
I don't think so, because the food hole is still your mouth.
Yeah. So are you picturing like a sphincter type deal, or is it more of a... Is it like an open close, or is it more of a dilation?
How is it we got from breathing hole to butthole? And just okay, sure, fine, it's a sphincter. I got another one. I
didn't say butthole. I said sphincter.
Yeah, but what do you think of when you hear sphincter?
Epiglottis.
Then shut up. Yeah, exactly. I think another good, like if you get like another weird surgery like that, I think fat storage being like by choice in terms of location. Because it's like it's really
like nobody actually wants to pay.
Yeah, where you're like, I like you're getting fat. I'm gonna put it in my ass or down by my feet,
yeah,
like Patrick in SpongeBob, where he like shoves them down there. I'm going to the snack bar.
Yeah, that would be cool. I thought you were gonna finish that sentence would be like with fat stores being like replaceable, or like add-ons where you can be like, all right, I'm gonna go on a long hike. Let me strap on my fat, and then you just put on you put on the energy you would need to do that activity, and then you go on with your day, and you go home. It's like, all right, I don't need it anymore. I'm gonna go back to skinny.
Yeah,
I mean, I would love to do that as a bit. Like, I would lose all the weight and still wear a fat suit around, so people would recognize it was me. Yeah, I would definitely do that.
Oh, that'd be so like Ralphie May, but just like,
yeah,
interesting.
I would 100% do that just to fuck with people. Like that's like as a like that's the thing is as what you were saying, Atlas, as a billionaire, like where you just fuck with people, I would definitely do that. Like I would walk around with a few $1,000s and be like, hey, what would you do for $1,000? And if they meet my requirement, like something weird, I'll give them $1,000 just randomly.
Hey,
but
good
in the same
you.
sense, yeah. Just to fuck with people, I would lose all the weight, be in like great shape, and then walk around in a fat suit just to see what people do.
Oh, and then you start doing things like I challenge you to a foot race, and then
exactly, and then just beat it, yeah,
kick their ass, yeah. Although I guess if
sure you're just describing Michael Jordan's life currently.
Why?
Like this is literally what he does. He goes around and he just makes bets with people.
I did not know this.
Yeah, but he has a gambling.
He's a
problem.
Degenerate gambler.
Oh my god.
All right.
Michael Jordan has.
Wow. I didn't know that Dino could speak Swedish.
Oh, because he's like, turn off the camera again and see if that helps. That's so annoying that like.
But yeah, he just designed his own golf course as well. He loves golf.
Oh, I know. I've seen Space Jam.
Oh yeah.
You remember that where he's just golfing in the movie?
Yeah.
Like, yeah.
And his course has like there's no bev cart girls that you order on an app and a drone brings you your drinks.
Oh, that's so weird.
Yeah, it's odd. It's getting rid of one of the best parts of golf. It's odd, but the reason I bring that up is like he does this thing where if he's playing golf with three other people, like he'll bet with those three people based on their means. So if someone's like uber rich, it's like, oh, we're playing 10 grand a hole. If someone's not as rich, it's like $1,000 a hole. And someone who's destitute, it's like $10 a hole. Like he doesn't care what the amount is. He just wants you to lose.
Interesting. Is he good at golf? I feel like he.
Yeah, I assume.
Yeah.
I would assume.
Yeah,
he seems like one of those people who would keep playing golf even though they suck at it. Like that's an archetype of golfer. Is the like I haven't hit like a birdie ever, and I fucking love playing with people. You're like, okay, I like winning. Winning's good. My dad was one of those people.
Yeah, I'm pretty terrible, but it's a lot of fun. But I also just started, so I'm giving myself the benefit that I'll improve in the next few years. But yeah,
I don't know.
Golf is something you just have to consistently play, and you know what? After a while, it's fucking boring. The fact that he took away the chicks tells me that guy, he got caught cheating too many times. That's what happened.
I don't think he gets caught cheating. I think it's just part of the deal. Like,
okay, here's the question then. At what point is it just, you can just do whatever you want and not be held accountable, right?
I assume when you make passive income in the hundreds of millions every year without having to do anything.
Yeah.
Because that's where like even if your wife is pissed about it, like she's getting part of that 100 million a year, like and so it's like, and even if he wasn't like they probably don't spend any time together.
Yeah.
Like he goes on his boat, he goes golfing, and she does her own shit. Like
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
See,
That's what.
That seems like a shit life, though. It seems like a shit life. You know what I mean? Like, if you have been in a loving relationship, like, knowing that you can trust the people around you, but when you're at that competitive, like, and that high level of a professional person, I only see it being punitive at some point, where it's like you just can't engage with people in the same way. I don't know. It's just me. But see, I'm sitting here in a basement with shit fucking bandwidth, and it fucks up everything I do. So, whatever. It's different for everybody.
I mean, like, the good thing is this is a podcast. You're supposed to just listen to it. I don't think it's really a problem in terms of, like, so for my other show that I run, there's this weird thing where, our listeners will be like, how come we don't put it on YouTube? And I'm like, because there's nothing to look at. it's a podcast. You're supposed to like listen to it while you're like doing laundry or something. And they're like, we'll put it on there anyway. So I literally put it up there with just our logo and the audio, and that's it. And people, I don't get it. I don't get it at all.
No,
but...
it's not something to get. People are weird that way. And you know what? I've noticed this, like, okay, do you guys, when the Joe Rogan Experience was on YouTube, did you watch it? Did you watch the full episodes?
No.
Yeah.
Okay. Now that it's on Spotify, do you?
No.
Yes.
I just never watched it to begin with. So.
Okay. So is there anything else that's something that you do watch regularly?
In terms of like
podcasts or anything like that, where it's changed, where it's normally broadcast, and you're like, oh well, now I have to sign up for that thing. A lot of times people just abandon. Like for myself, I only watch the Joe Rogan Experience stuff that actually goes on to YouTube, because I'm like, I'm not gonna bother signing up for Spotify. Like, oh, it'll be free. I'm like, I don't care. I just don't want more stuff.
I don't know. I use Spotify as my main music player, so it's just a matter of like subscribing to your podcast of choice, and then that's it.
Yeah, which is reasonable, right? But so if something like that was changed, would you say, "Oh well, I'm going to change all my stuff over to XYZ because that's over there now"?
Probably
I
not.
I don't think you do that. Yeah. That's why it's like, I think some people want to be supportive, but at the same time, that's where they're like, just put it on YouTube. Why? Because that's where they do their stuff, right?
I guess so.
I don't know. It's weird.
But again, it's a thing where if I, like, the point of that show is it's supposed to be, like, I listen to podcasts while I'm doing other stuff. I don't sit down to listen to a podcast. If that makes sense.
Yeah. No, I get it.
Whatever. To each their own, I guess.
I feel like Nick is slowly, because on his video, it's slowly getting darker and darker, and the image is like also looks like it's burning, like it just keeps on.
It literally looks like the thing where just like a video of a baby slowly falling asleep.
No, definitely. Now I can't even tell. See, now he moves, and I'm like,
now he moves, and I can't even see him anymore.
100% he was asleep.
Yeah.
Goo goo gaga. I'm still here.
I shat my pants, he says.
I think I am gonna go shit my pants.
I steered into the skid. No.
Yeah.
First advice. There you go.
Okay. All right. He's. We should probably let him like go take a shower or whatever.
I'm gonna
just
go
fall down the stairs. Get yourself out of your misery.
Oh my god. All right. Well, thanks for listening to Generation Dan. Like always, you can catch us every Thursday on your podcast app of choice or on the YouTube channel. Where can they find us in places to stuff?
You can find me dying alone or on Instagram at Nick Fernandez Comedy.
Yeah, and I'm at Dino the Genetic Marvel. You can find me. I have a Facebook page which normally funnels all the stuff I'm doing. I'm on a bunch of podcasts and stuff and shows and doing some comedy. So tune in there, and as well, I have Instagram. You can message me, do whatever you want. I don't really give a shit, but you know, hey, I'm out there. Atlas, where can they find you?
You can find me on Twitter or Instagram at Atlas Novak. You can find my other show at Nexus at Night in the same places. You can also catch me coming up at, this is coming out probably like mid-July or something. You can catch me next month in August at the Burbank Comedy Festival, hosted by Flappers, so that's going to be like on their YouTube channel or stuff. Just keep an eye on my Twitter. I'll be posting things. So, yeah. Thanks, everybody, for listening, and we'll see you next time. Have a good one, everyone.
Later.
Ciao.